let's talk about this one. Another transfer that's going on. Let's talk about Middlesbrough's Djed Spence.
Oh, yeah.
So, I'm going to let you take the lead of what's going on here, because if I talk about what's going on, it's going to send me into a rant, and I do not want to go on a rant.
Well, one of the best negotiators ever in Daniel Levy has taken over the deal, or negotiations. And we're, 5 million apart from what Borough want. The way I see it, we've only got one good wing back at the club at the moment in Perisic. And I've gone on record, and people agree with me, disagree with me, all you want. It'd be interesting to know what you guys do think. Sessegnon, for me, fragile. Yep. 5-6 good games toward the end of the season has papered over a lot of cracks, a lot of poor performances in a Spurs shirt. Will he be? I know Conte trusts him, and he might turn out to be a great left wing back.
Yep.
I believe we're beyond that. I think we should be going for someone who's pretty much guarantees us quality at left wing back, and we've done that in Perisic. Emerson, again, great last half a dozen games. Before that, complete rubbish. In my opinion, he wasn't that great. Doherty, a season and a half of mediocre performances. Improved his, to be fair, it was his own mentality that got him to the next level and fitted into that right wing back, which he originally was. And his performances turned out to be great. And we missed him when he went. We all shat ourselves when he got injured, and we knew we had to rely on Emerson. But we don't know what he's going to be like when he comes back from the serious injury. And, of course, Reguilon, who is a Reggie gone, as far as I'm concerned. So at the moment, we really need to improve on our wing-back positions. Spence can possibly turn out to be one of the best right wing-backs in the position. But I keep on, without sounding like a broken record, I would like players who are going to come into the squad and improve our squad. I don't think Spence is going to do that straight away. There's talks of buying him in and loaning him straight out. We're not at that. Under Conte, our mindset as a fan base should be different. I'm not against Spence coming in. Bring him in, but he's not the answer at right wing back. And the fact that we're still umming and ahhing over 5 million says to me more about the quality of the player and how we're judging him than actually bringing him in. There's many and more better right wing backs out there. If we're umming and ahhing about spending 15 million on him, 20 million on him, then what does that say? What do you reckon it's down to?
Okay.
Or
I reckon it's down to. No, what I will say is this: how many times in our recent history have we missed out on players for £5 million?
Never.
Or how often does this happen? Now, you've openly admitted, and you've had to admit and announce to the world, we've put 150 million into the club.
Yeah.
Champions League money, concert money. Yes, I understand you want to haggle a bit, but this is...
We're in the red at the moment.
And I'm going to say this, I use it all the time, and fair play to David Harris at Irish Hotspur. We have not resolved this issue since Walker.
Yep.
How much money have we've chucked more than the 50 million away trying to find the Carl Walker replacement? We've let people like Carl Walker-Peters out the door, who may have done well now. We weren't to know Conte was coming in. Pay the money. We're talking now obviously 5 million to you and me is a lifetime.
Oh, to me.
We'll never see that money in our life. But for a club like Tottenham Hotspur, with Antonio Conte, who have got Champions League, who are absolutely desperate for a right wing back and to resolve this issue, again haggling over 5 million.
We've constantly said, haven't we, Brian, that if Conte wants him, bring him in. Yep. Maybe Conte doesn't want him.
Listen, I mean, for you look at it, I'm hoping with Spence, because I can't see, and this is just my opinion, how a championship playoff winning right back or right wing back, whatever you want to call him, then can go straight into a Champions League competing, top four hunting Tottenham Hotspur
Yeah.
or any team, the gap is so high. Yeah, don't get me wrong, he could be a talent that slots right in, but I'm not prepared to take the risk, or I wouldn't be. So I would love it if he came in, but there was another one, like a Dumfries or a someone with more experience. And I say Dumfries because I'm a big fan of him. But it's always this £5 million here, £5 million there. And I just wish that the club could do something. And then we're hearing these rumours that obviously no bidder's got in, but then apparently his agent might be at the training ground, or there was meant to be an agent at the training ground yesterday. And then obviously talks are ongoing still.
Yeah.
That talks are, they're bracing themselves for a bid again.
Bracing.
Hashtag bracing for a bid.
Yeah.
So I think we've got a couple of super chats.
We have Richard Black Dog. Big up, mate.
Big up.
2 signings that excite me: Conte and Kane extensions. And I'm assuming it doesn't mean extensions to the houses. The contract extensions at Spurs. Absolutely. Kane is down to his last 2 years now.
Yeah.
He'll be 33 by the time it
Well, it's
ends.
29 now.
29
He's
to
about to hit 30.
32.
I think it's 30 in August.
Yeah, so 32 then, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think personally, I think Kane's going to see out his career at Spurs now. I really do. I hope so. Me and you disagreed on that, and we disagreed about something else, but we won't go into that. And then Conte, yeah, we've got the option of extending his contract next summer. I think we'll do that. But yeah, a new contract from Conte would be ideal. But he's not a long-term manager, is he?
Well, do you know what? I'm gonna coin Sean Butler what he says. Conte's had loads of girlfriends, and it's time he finds a wife. And hopefully Tottenham Hotspur can be that wife. I think him signing the contract will send a lot of faith into the Spurs players. It will send shockwaves down the Premier League, and it will be a huge show of intent. And I think we need to. I think we need to get this deal done. That will send shockwaves out, and I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it.
Just on personally as well, there's a couple of people who are saying they don't have Twitter, so they can't get in touch with me with regards to the signed pennant. If you want to email me, guys, I'm on bobspurtv@outlook.com. So it's bobspurtv@outlook.com, and yeah, if you want to put in bid via that, we can do. The winner will be announced later on tonight, or maybe in the wall tomorrow.
Have you announced where the bid is, or are you doing it as a blind auction?
It's a blind auction. What do you mean blind auction?
Or silent auction, sorry, silent.
Yes.
So no one knows what the bid is at the moment?
No, people will ask. So at the moment, it's £70.
Okay.
So
that's the bid you got to be at the moment.
Someone is
£70.
saying that they will put, they want to bid £100. So as soon as I get an email confirming that,
then the
that
bid
will
is
be the
£100,
minimum.
which is
That's it.
fantastic. All go to the NHS. So
Yeah,
fantastic,
absolutely.
whoever that was.
My apologies for the next super chat.
Yeah, I've seen it from Coover.
Coover, Bob, why is your coffee smaller than Brian's? I thought he favoured the shorter ones. Big up, Coov. You dirty. Anyway, Mark DaCosta. Winks part exchange for Richarlison, Bergwijn part exchange for Anthony, the Celso part exchange for Torres, and signed Spence. You, Mark, sound like a car salesman. Loving our part exchanges. Yeah, Winks part exchange for Richarlison. I think Winks can be part of a Richarlison deal. I get what Danny's saying, but at the same time, I'm not going to be. Danny said that what's the point of putting Winks in as 20 million if Everton's still going to hold out for 75 million? My answer to that would be, if we want Richarlison and it's going to cost us 50 million, then so be it. It gets Winks off our books, and we'd only spend that money if we can afford it. Bergwijn part exchange for Anthony. What do you reckon?
Look, but
It'd be Bergwijn plus cash, wouldn't it, for Anthony?
Yeah, and Bergwijn's blatantly going. We know it. One of the things we will say is we knew, or we should be realising that obviously this is what Paratici does, and do you know what? This used to be quite common practice when we were growing up, that this would be a player plus, and it kind of died over the last few years. But if that's a way we can get a player off the books and bring someone in, I think it's a great bargaining tool.
Yeah.
Especially when you look at Pau Torres, whether you and a lot of people do want him. I'd like to see him there. Bastoni was my number one, but obviously it looks like that is dead in the water.
You still think that? Because I know you up until last week.
And then the day I said it, Inter came out again. I mean, it could be Inter again just talking, but it looks like it is. I'm conceding defeat in that one. But Pau Torres, wants to come to the Premier League. Lo Celso wants to stay. You can see they make sense.
Yeah.
And I just hope these things happen because obviously, whether we spend the money or how we spend it, who we spend it on, using player exchanges when we have the chance is a great opportunity to get to a winner for both teams.
And the world class players that are involved, going out for in Winks, Bergwijn, and Lo Celso, 3 world class players who would better any team they go to. I think it's a great bargaining chip. They would make any team better. So if you're watching, please take these players. But yeah, Lo Celso in part exchange to Pau Torres, which has gone quiet. Torres has been mentioned of late. Ericsson and Spence and Richarlison and Rafinha seems to be the main topic of transfer talk. But yeah, Torres has gone a bit cold in the transfer talk, hasn't it?
Well, I think do you know what? I think that's gone cold because talks on the Celso have gone cold.
Yeah,
that's what I think it is.
yeah.
I think it's the outgoing players we've got where it's gone cold because maybe they're not matching our valuation or whatever it may be. It may be the other way around, but I think that's what is holding these deals up. Are there any more super chats before we talk about the?
I don't think there is. New.
Okay, so let's bring up the next topic for discussion today, which is, I think his name is Jonathan Klaus, possible options for Spurs. So this is another wing-back who was the #1 left-back, I believe, in La Liga. And Bob, you've got his stats, haven't you?
Yeah, 11 assists, 5 goals, which isn't bad from a left wing back. Because there was a lot of talk about Kostic, wasn't there, earlier on, and he did well for Frankfurt, and that's gone cold. But yeah, this is one player that I did have to Google. Plays for Lens, it's done well in the French league, and would be a good option. Perisic class is not going to play 38 games in the league. Who are the other options we've got? A fragile Sessegnon, like I've said earlier, in my opinion, and then to bring Klaus in, or Santa, as I like to call him, would be a great option. And hey, he's not the youngest. He's certainly come in and do a job for us. So he does have experience on his side as well. So yeah, I'd be up for that. Is another experienced player on the left side, left wing back, and Sessegnon to have a 33-year-old and a 29-year-old.
Some people in the chat, people are actually saying he's a right wing back.
Oh, is he?
I was hearing he's a left wing back.
He's played to the left as well, yeah.
So there you go. Maybe we've got someone that's both. Because I was about to say, if it is another left back, the only worry I have about that is again we're neglecting the right hand side. But if he can play it, we could have Perisic and him that can both play.
Well, Perisic can play down the right as well.
Exactly. So it's a bit of versatility and cover in case the player gets injured.
One thing is, keep saying, would he be a player who comes in and improves the squad? Certainly down the right wing back or any wing back position, definitely someone I'd look at, and it wouldn't be that expensive as well.
No,
not that matters, of course.
But here we go. I can see we have a super chat from a very good supporter of all the channels, Mr. Tim Man 007. Do you want to read it?
Yeah, guys, it might be early, but I'm very worried that Levy is back to his old tricks again and somehow going to make us have a Spursy window. What I'd say to that, Tim, and I'm sure Brian Daigle would love his say on this, it's not been a Spursy window so far. It hasn't. The players we've brought in, Perisic is not a Spursy window.
No.
A Basuma, to an extent, isn't a Spursy window. Forster, I believe, is a sensible window.
Yep.
If they remain the only players to come in till the end of the window, then yes, I think we can safely say. But big up to man. For me, it's a bit early to call it a Spursy window. The Spursy senses might be tingling with Brian Daigle.
Yep,
I hate that word. I absolutely hate that word. And I know you put it in apostrophe, so you probably don't think you don't like that word yourself. But for me, it's a bit too early, mate. It's a bit too early.
Like I said, I've said this. Why my Levy senses are tingling is just because I don't think they're going to be there before we leave for career.
Yeah.
And I think it's pivotal. We look at teams like Chelsea away, first away game of the season. That's where you have a Conte pre-season, which is a grueling one, like a Pochettino one. So they're all fit, ready, raring to go, all on the same hymn sheet. Know what they're doing. They're organised. They're motivated. They've had that time together, as opposed to signing players later. Then they need a few months to get up to Conte standards and embedded into the team. So, like I said, I think we will spend the money. This is the thing. I honestly do think we are going to spend a majority of that money. I just don't think it's going to... I think we'll be doing a lot of our business once the season has started, or during August into September, or to the deadline day, and that's the bit that has annoyed me. But I have to make this abundantly clear. I do think Levy is going to spend the money. I really, really do. I am just concerned
There's
it won't
a timeline that bothers you.
That's exactly. There you go. That's the exact thing. It's the timeline. That's it. So we have another super chat. We will be getting callers on soon. We got people in the back end, Sam. Yeah. Fantastic. So we have one from